is Sheree Rodriguez, and I will be conducting the session today. How are you doing today, Hector?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, so just to go over some basics, I am recording the session and it will be reviewed by my teacher. And just some basics I will have to report if you feel like hurting yourself or others, but pretty much everything that you say will be kept confidential. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, what brings you here today?
Well, it's been about a month since I left the hospital, and it's been about almost 5 months since I had the accident. And I don't know. I, I, I don't know. It's just
Okay, so about 5 months ago, you had an accident. A month ago, you were released from the hospital.
yeah. I had to stay because I had massive injuries. It was a serious accident, and I had major hip surgery, and I I can't really lift anything anymore, and I feel useless. And I feel useless because all my life I've grown up in a hardworking Latino community and family, and I was raised to be the man of the house and to raise my family right and to be responsible. And now I can't do that no more.
Okay, so you said you feel useless, and you come from a background that highly values a hardworking man.
I don't feel I am useless.
And what makes you believe that you're useless?
I can't work no more. And my family, they come from a line of construction workers. I used to do all that before, and I used to be good, and I can't even do anything no more, and I feel always so angry and mad, and I don't know how to feel, and I don't know how to deal with it, and it's just hard because now I've never been a really serious drinker before, and ever since the accident, it's been something I look to drink my pain away.
I've heard you mention family several times. Would you mind telling me about your family? Maybe about your parents, your siblings, your spouse.
Well, my parents are divorced, and my dad is a hardworking man. My mom's an even hardworking woman, and her I respect. And for years, like I said, I come from a hardworking family who values tradition and values of a traditional male model, being that the male is the head of the household who provides for his family and is the example. He sets the example for his children, and that's how my mom was, and so was my father. Even though they both were separated, they still held those values, even though they weren't together.
Okay, so you come from a long line of hardworking family. Your parents worked hard, and you've seen that yourself. Your father working hard, your mother working hard. How about your family? Do you have a wife or children?
Yes, I have a beautiful wife and lovely children. A 5 year old, or about to be 5 year old, and a 12-year old who knows so much more than I do. But yet, she's a clunker when it comes to common sense.
Okay. And since the accident, how do you feel about how has your family come and support you?
I don't know, to be honest, because I haven't focused on them. I've, like I said, I've just been in my house by myself in my own,
Mhm.
I mean, in the garage, just watching TV and drinking, and I just stay there all day. I don't bother them. And when they come ask me, I just tell them to go away because I don't like how they see me.
Okay, so have they personally said anything to you since you've come home from the hospital?
I think there were times, um, not that I'm aware of, because, like I said, I'm a heavy drinker, and there are times when I black out, and next thing I know, I'm sleeping in the couch because my wife and I got into an argument because I can't. Ever since the accident, I can't. I have troubles in other areas besides my leg and arms.
Okay. So you're having a lot of physical problems. You're not able to work as you once did, and these physical problems are starting to affect your relationship with your wife. You feel like you are useless, and in all of this, have you sought any other type of treatment, maybe for further physical therapy or?
No, that's why I was referred to you to see what avenues I can take
Mhm.
because I don't want my family to see me like this no more. I'm unhappy. I don't want to be like this, but I don't know what to do.
Okay. So right now you're kind of at a point where you want to do something, but you're not sure what to do. And have you considered talking a bit more with your family?
Well,
Have your family seems to be capable of being supportive. Is there a reason why you are pushing away that support? Besides that, you don't want them to see you in this state.
because they remind me of who I once was. I, like I said, I'm damaged goods. And
What makes you think that you're damaged goods? What are your
I
thoughts
have,
and feelings exactly?
because I can't do what I used to do. I can't provide anymore. I have to walk with a cane for the rest of my life, and heaven knows if I'm ever going to lift anything now. It's just, I'm, like I said, I'm useless.
Okay, so prior to the accident, besides the being a hard worker and providing for your family, what other ways were you involved with your family?
We would spend a lot of family time. We would have weekends, do grill outs, barbecues, have the kids. We go on summer vacations. Like the year before, about a year or two ago, we went to go see my mother in Idaho. And before then, we were having plans to go in California to see my wife's aunt there, and we we spent a lot of time together. I mean, we there's also the after school events. There's my daughter's church event that we do, and my son, he's gonna have a soccer. He signed up for soccer, which I'm proud of him, and because he come from a long way too. And my wife, she's a hardworking woman too, and I would, you know, being that she works hard, we spend a lot of time during the weekends.
So, what stops you now from spending time with them like you once did?
I would slow them down whenever we were to go to the zoo. I would slow them down. We would go to the movie. We would have to find something that's handicap accessible or something that would just slow them down. I'm afraid of slowing them down.
Okay. Have you considered that most places are now very accessible to people in needs? They even provide services.
I
Have you
don't
looked into those?
know, but I don't think I should be in those. I mean, I feel useless, but I think I don't deserve to be in that
And why is that?
because I'm meant to be more. I'm meant to be, useful.
So far, you've told me about your accident, you've told me about your family, the values that you hold in being a hard worker and a provider. And right now, you're feeling like you can't provide that same amount and quality of life that you once did before. When you think about your family or when you think toward the future, what do you think of?
I don't know. Um, all I can think now is just drinking.
So you have a mindset where now, instead of planning more for the future, you're defaulting to drinking, but you want to break away from that. So, how would you go about making a change with the resources that you do have, such as you have your family? You said your daughter's involved with a church. Do they have any type of groups, or do they offer any type of support for families in your situation?
I haven't asked.
Have you reached out to see if you qualify for any type of assistance?
No, I have not.
Okay, so right now you're starting to realize that you need some type of help, but you're not sure where to go. A good place to start would probably be starting by reconnecting with your family. And then a next step might be looking for available resources to help bring some quality of life that you will feel, in a way, useful again.
What programs are there?
Well, for many people in your situation, some may qualify for what they call disability. There's lots of programs where you can learn to work with the disabilities. There's many companies that will hire people and work with them. So a good place to start would probably be with programs such as, like I said, Social Security, and reconnecting with your family, because it seems like your family wants to be there for you.
I'm sure they do. I want to, but I'm just scared.
You're scared. Okay. And what is it that you're scared of?
Staying like this, not being able to provide.
Okay, so you have the determination to move forward, and I don't know the medical part of your situation right now. Have you sought any other medical advice regarding your current life circumstances?
I have not.
Have you kept your follow-up appointments?
Not as well as I should have.
Okay, so another good place to start would probably be getting back in touch with your former doctors to see if there's anything to alleviate or help increase your mobility. Sometimes, you just have to take a little bit more physical therapy. Have you been to physical therapy?
Not really.
Not really. And what prevents you from going?
Now that I'm talking about it with you, nothing really. It's just me being scared.
Okay. All right, so we're coming to a close of our session. Let me just summarize everything. We talked about the accident that occurred. You were in the hospital. You just recently got released. You have feelings of anger, of you're being scared to reach out. You come from a long line of hardworking family, and that further makes you feel like you are not as useful as you once were. um, we discussed reconnecting with family, reaching out for community support or any type of assistance, and going back and seeing if there's anything you can do medically. Is that sound about right? All right. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Okay, so let's try to do that. Let's try to maybe reconnect and look at what assistance or programs are available to help you see if you can get back some form of life that you can find satisfaction in. Right, thank you.